Let's go Pilates with hand weights. Take your hand weights and place them at the top of your mat out of the way. We're going to begin your session on your hands and shins. Spread open your fingers and palms. Place the hands under the shoulders, knees right underneath the hips. It's important that in this position we exhale to set the ribs up and in and lift the waist up into the lower back. Beginning with the twist, bend your elbow up over your shoulder, open the hand, pause, rebend hand to armpit, palm to mat. Switch, bending opposite elbow, extend the arm, spread your wingspan across your back, hand to armpit, flatten palm to mat. Continue. Try to keep the weight even between your knees. Push the ground away from you, shoulders away from the ears. Bend, spiral, gaze up toward the thumb, rebend, spread your back, and press. 4 more. So the spreading of the back is meant to prevent you from sinking and being sloppy into the bottom shoulder that's supporting you. We want to feel like we're lifting up out of the wrist, out of the elbow, out of the shoulder, reaching for the sky. Rebend. Lift the waist as you set the palm. 1 more per side here. Enjoy it. This should feel good. Even if it feels restrictive and tight, you're working through that tightness. Last one. Gaze up. Fold the elbow. Press the palm flat. Amazing. Moving right along. Make sure that your feet fit onto your mat. Curl your toes under. Inhale in neutral, flat spine. Exhale, pluck your knees just a few inches up off of your mat and hold. Hold. Set the knees down. Continue. As you exhale, hover the knees. Push the ground away from you with your palms. Slowly set the knees back down. Hugging your armpits, squeezing your shoulder blades, lift, hold, knees to mat. Keep reaching the crown of your head away from your tailbone and stretching your tailbone back. So there's always length in your spine as you do this lift and lower. Lift. Squeeze your arms towards each other and set the knees lightly down. Hold. 2 more. Lift. 1 more time. We're going to stay adding a spiral. So you will lift your left elbow as you reach your knees and twist them to the left. Inhale back to neutral. Step the feet to adjust if you need, and then raising right elbow, twisting knees to the right. So we're taking that beginning movement that we started with and adding it here to our knee hover. Make sure that as you twist, you're pushing the ground away from you. You're not dumping and sinking into the bottom supporting arm. Total of 8. We've got 4 more here. Exhale. Inhale, center, neutral. Exhale, elbow up, push the ground away, hip is lifted. This is good. 1 more each direction. Final time, spread open the hand, reach up through the elbow point, and return. Nicely done. Let's take the knees down, point the feet. Just sit back onto the heels before we stretch out your forearms, coming onto the back of the left hand, straightening the left elbow little by little, and guiding the left shoulder away from your ear. Shake it out. Let's go to the right. Flip the right hand. You're on the back of the hand, straightening the right elbow and pulling the right shoulder away from the ear. Feel that nice, solid forearm stretch. Let's reset on the hands and knees, curling the toes under, and then adding an extension of the arm to our twist. Hand to sky, move to center. So taking it up a notch in terms of speed, but keeping the precision, extending the arm up and center. 4 more. Adjust your feet kind of step, so you can keep your footing throughout the rotations. 1 more each direction. Last time. Now we're going to pause in the middle. Get light in your feet. Kind of feel a little bit bouncy, like you're up above your own hands and feet. So we can take the right heel to tailbone, left heel. It's actually heel to sitting bone. So really trying to pull and feel the back of the leg. That's your hamstring. Knees are still at a hover. Notice if your abdominals are kind of flaccid and hanging down with gravity, if you can use your exhalations to pick your waist back up. Pause. Pitch your hips up and back into elephant. Knees can remain bent, or you can start to work towards straight legs. Hug your outer arms in toward your head and feel your arms sink into the sockets. As you lift your abdominals, that's what propels your pelvis and your buttocks back and up. Step your feet forward, bending your knees if you need, all the way up towards your wrists. Separate your feet as wide as your shoulders and turn your feet out a little bit. We're going to sink down into a very deep squat. Keep your heels down if possible. Option to lift up the heels just to maintain the squat position. Wherever you are, walk your hands out in front of you, round your spine, drop your head down, and just work on deepening through this squat stance, hip creases, knee creases, ankles. Eventually pick up your hand weights firmly in each palm and sink your buttocks to the ground. Knees bent, feet flat. We're going to inch a little bit forward on your mat so you've got some real estate behind you, and bicep curl the arms to the shoulders. Lift up your elbows so that your elbow is in line with your shoulders. Scooping your pelvis halfway back will straighten the arms. And then as you breathe out, bicep curl. Breathe into straighten, bicep curl. So utilizing the weights means that we need to be mindful of how we position ourselves so we don't actually fall backwards. The feet are anchored. Hips are scooping underneath you, and ribs are pulling back. Alternate, right arm, left arm. Keep that upper elbow lifted. Gaze straight forward. Shoulders relaxed. And in a moment, we're going to pause with both elbows bent. Here we go. Punching up to the ceiling. Fists up and shoulder height. Up, shoulder height. Squeeze the weights. Keep them facing your nose. Pause, straighten the arms, melt your back into the mat. As you rest just on the back of the rib cage, so ideally your shoulders are still up off the ground, pulse your arms up and down. Only an inch up and an inch down. You're not flailing, always in control of the weights in your hands. Exhale, right back up to where you started. Amazing. Set the weights down for a moment. We have options. You can sit with your ankles crossed and knees bent, or a little more challenging, extending the legs straight and pressing them firmly together. Pick the option that allows for you to sit tall as you bring your weights to the front of your forehead, palms facing out, elbows bent. On your exhale, squeeze your waist and extend the arms in a diagonal. Inhale, bend. Exhale, inhale. Keep plugging the shoulders down the back away from your ears. And this is what it looks like if we do the cross ankle version, knees bent. Stretching the arms out. Breathe and bend. One more time. And then relax the arms with control by your sides. So now that you know what we're in for, you might want to sit up on a chair or choose a seated position that's a little bit more supportive. Let's do the exact same movement again. Elbows bent, hands toward forehead, exhale, salute, inhale, bend. There's a slight incline of your body forward, keeping the neck long, collarbones wide. And this is what it looks like with those legs extended if you're choosing this option. Pressing the weights together. Excellent. Lower the arms down by your sides. Shift your pelvis forward once you've shook out the shoulders a little bit so that your knees bend. Holding the weights, set them on the tops of your knees. Relax the shoulders. Reach the arms out in front of you at shoulder height and begin to round all the way down in a full roll down into the ground. Arrive with your arms up above your chest. Reverse, lift the head, neck, shoulders, and eventually sitting up tall. Repeat, pull your waist back, ribs back, rounding your spine into the ground. Lie flat. As you exhale, curve your spine. You can rest the weights on your knees if they're feeling super heavy and stack up tall, taller, tallest. Repeat. See how the weights help you to control your lower down. And without using any momentum, feel how the weights give you just that little bit of encouragement forward. You pick whether you need to drop the weights and do this weight free, or especially on the curl up, it's nice to rest the weights on the knees, giving the shoulders a little bit of a break and reestablishing good posture. Articulate through your spine. Feel your body move bone by bone by bone in your back as you lie down. Squeezing the weights with your fists, curve forward. You want to keep the feet anchored. You might need to flex your feet and push your heels into the ground, but don't let your feet lift. Inhale. Exhale audibly, curving forward. Once you've rounded, find the sitting bones, sit up tall. Start to refine this movement. Be in control of both the lowering and the lifting. Breathe out, gaze down. As you look down, it helps for your spine as you round. Look toward the ceiling, breathe in. Look toward your waist, curve. Hands to knees, weights to knees, stack up. Amazing. We're shifting now onto your shins. You can stand right up on your knees or sit your hips down onto your heels. Arms are by your sides. Again, always nice to just give the shoulders a little bit of a break before we move into the next movement. Squeezing the weights by your sides. Inhale. Exhale, reach back and then bring them by your hips. So using that middle back and the backs of your arms to row. Keep bracing with the abdominals, so that when you row the arms back, you're not just extending through your spine and arching. Arms stay narrow to your body, knuckles reaching to the floor, pulsing back in that back range as far as you can. And we rest. Great. Put the weights down. You can stay seated on your shins or sit on your hips, ankles crossed, knees bent. Reach the arms out in front of you for bow and arrow. Exhale, twisting to look over your shoulder. Inhale, return. Turn without lifting the shoulders to the ears. Inhale. And really visualize that you're pulling something with the arm that's bending. And you're reaching forward through the arm that is straight. Continue. Exhale. Spine is perpendicular to your mat. No leaning back, no leaning forward. Nice job. Lower your hands down onto the mat. Slither onto your stomach, lying on your abdomen, just moving your hand weights out of your way so that you can lie down with your hands under your forehead. As you pick up your waist, push your palms and elbows into the mat. Hover your head, neck, and collarbones. Inhale, lower. Exhale, hover upper body, looking past your hands. Breathe in. 2 more, feeling the work right in between your shoulder blades. And as you lift, keeping your seat muscles activated, pause. Can you bring your hand to your forehead? Both hands to your forehead. Pulsing. It's very, very small. Don't worry about how high you lift, but that you're lengthening your head from your toes and reaching your toes from your head. Pause. Bend the elbows. Reach the hands back by your thighs. Hands face the ground. And we're going to pulse those upper back muscles again for 7, 6. Keep lengthening through your head. 5. Reaching your fingers to your toes. 4. Exhale. 3. Smoothly. 2. And 1. Amazing. Bend the elbows. Place the hands to the forehead and lower your body down. Great work. From here, you can wiggle your pelvis side to side, release your back, grab one hand weight and turn onto your side, supported on your left forearm, both knees bent into tabletop. And as you set up, extending the right arm up over your shoulder, hold that weight strong. As you breathe out, lift your hips, balancing on your forearm and stacked knees. Inhale, lower. Exhale, up. Inhale. So that's the bones of the movement. But the nuance is to prevent yourself from sinking into your left shoulder. So feeling very lifted and strong in your left armpit. Abdominals are engaged, that rib to hip connection. And in a moment, we're going to make it a little bit more sophisticated. Hold, step the top foot forward, plant the foot, and extend the bottom leg out. So now we're in kind of a half side forearm plank. You can stay right here, or exhale, stack the feet flexed. You should be in one line from your head down to your feet, then lowering the toning weight down by your pelvis, down your thigh, resisting gravity. No sinking in the bottom shoulder as you raise your right arm up, step the right foot forward. Slowly lower your pelvis to the ground and reach the weight towards your straight leg, lifting up onto your right palm. Put the toning weight down, bring your hand to your knee and just open through the hip. A little bit of a hip opener here. When you're ready, switching sides, coming down onto your right forearm, setting it underneath your shoulder. Knees are bent, stacked towards your hips. Reach the top arm up towards the ceiling, squeeze the weight, and then we lift the hip and set it down. Hip crest up, bottom hip to mat. And all of this is done smoothly so that you're not just dropping your hip to the mat and you're not thrusting it up, but taking at least 3 seconds to lift and 3 seconds to lower. Feel how your lifted left arm anchors into your armpit and into your back. Always checking into the right shoulder that it's strong and supported so that we can step the left foot forward and extend the bottom leg out straight. It's always a good idea to hard flex that extended leg so you have a base of support. And decide if you want to stack both legs or keep that top foot forward. Hold. Breathe. As you resist gravity, we'll take the top weighted arm Bring it down to the outside of your hip and thigh, reaching the weight down your leg, opening up your chest and shoulders. Take the weight back up, step the top foot forward. As you lower your hips, you're going to reach the weight to the straight leg and come up onto your right hand. Set the weight down, bring your hand to the inside of your knee, and find that hip opening. Really good. So we're heading into the last sequence of this segment. Sitting cross-legged or even on a chair, I want you to sit in a way that makes you feel tall and strong. Holding the hand weights, take a second to glide the shoulders down and then open the arms into a T. We bend at a right angle, elbows and wrists at the same height, and open to T. Breathe in, bend, exhale, reach. Keep reaching your elbow points back. Looking to the right and to the left to see that your wrist is at the same height as your elbow when you move. Squeezing the weight with your fingers and knuckles, getting into that grip strength, forearm strength. Holding, take it out and stay. Turn the hands up and turn the hands down. Okay, so again here we're keeping the arms still in terms of height, and we're just rotating the thumb back, pinky up, thumb down, pinky up, thumb back, thumb down. Do not lock out your arms. There should be a very micro mini bend at the elbows. Breathe. Give your shoulders permission to relax away from your ears. Feel the work in your back. Hold and lower slowly all the way down. Moving into a juicy 3-minute stretch segment, side bending to your right, left hand behind your head. Keeping your left butt muscle anchored and your core siphoning in so you can twist opposite elbow to the knee. Rotate back to neutral and maybe peeking to look up, stepping your right hand forward. Then squeezing your waist, lift back up to center, side bending to the left, right hand behind the head, point the elbow up. Breathe in. Exhale, top elbow to opposite knee. Squeeze, hold. Inhale, turn back to neutral, step the left hand forward, gesture your eyes up, open the top elbow, enjoy it. Come back to center, side bend, and pick your body up. Moving your hand weights off of your mat and out of the way, come onto your hands and knees. Curl your feet under. Pluck your knees up off the mat. Take elephant, that inverted V shape. You can make the elephant a little bit shorter than usual, so your feet are closer to your hands. Then wrap your right foot around your left ankle with knees bent or legs straight. Step onto the right foot, left foot wraps around. We're going to take that left foot, step it forward in between your hands, bring your back knee down onto the mat, point the right toes. The knee in the front is on top of the ankle, and then we'll take the weights and lift them up so that you can rest your hands on the top of the weight handle, lifting your body up for a nice hip opener in the right hip and thigh. Eyes are straight forward, lift your waist, switch. Left knee down, right foot forward. Perch on the weights. Bring your body up perpendicular to the floor. Send the breath into the front of your left hip and thigh. Now we want to shift so that we can sit into a wide squat with the feet as wide as the shoulders, feet turned out. You can hold the weights in your hands and connect your weights in fists. It's fine if your heels are lifting, gradually working to get those heels down. Press the backs of your arms against your shins and knees. Sustain this deep squat. Breathe. Placing the weights down, reach the arms out in front of you, weight free. Soften your hips to the mat, grab your shins, grab your legs, give them a hug. So good.